Hello everybody, we're back once again. Got a few questions here, golf cart related questions we're going to go over. I am Tim, I work for Golf Cart Garage. We do this twice a week. We have a little short session where I go over some questions that we collect at Golf Cart Garage all week long and in the past too. And we might interact with some live people if anybody's in the live, because we are live right now on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. This is Thursday the 22nd. It's noon Central Time. This episode is episode 58. Let's see. So if you're hearing me or watching me right now, you are live. If it's at noon Central Time on September the 22nd. I am part of the Gearheads on Demand service that we offer at Golf Cart Garage. If you're interested in scheduling a phone call with me one-on-one to discuss your golf cart related issue, you can click on the link in the description. That will take you to the scheduling page, and you pick a time that's convenient for you, and I'll call you. I'll call you at that time, and we can talk about your golf cart issue. I might be able to help you out, might be able to save you some money. I don't know. We'll see. If you think it's something I need to see, I can send, instead of calling you, I can send you a link to your phone at whatever time you scheduled. You can pick from a phone call or a video session, either one. You can pick either one, whichever one you think is necessary. And then you'll get a link on your phone if you picked video, and then you just click the link, and then I can see through your camera and I can see what you're pointing at. So, like I said, if you're interested in that, click the link in the description, and I'll be there. Well, the garage is now open for episode 58, so let's get started. Question 1. My 2015 Club Car Gas has a terrible squeal when starting. A friend suggested it could be the clutch. My problem is there are 2 clutches and I don't know where to start. Well, I can tell you this. It's probably not the clutch. It is probably the starter spinning inside the starter belt. Makes a terrible squeal. Anytime I hear anyone describe a gas cart symptom as a squeal, that's usually the starter. And if you'll open the seat, if you don't know how to crank your car in reverse, you need to figure that out. Like on a gas club car, you have to open the seat and look on the back side of your forward and reverse handle. You know, like the forward and reverse lever that you use to go from forward to reverse that's under your knee, is behind your right knee. Well, look under the seat on the back side of that, and there's a little yellow cam right in the center of that forward and reverse assembly on the back side, and you grab it like this with your thumb and your index finger, and you pull it out, and you turn it about 90 degrees, or maybe less than 90 degrees. You turn it a little bit, and then you let it go, and it snaps back in a different spot. Now you can crank your car in neutral. So you need to crank your car in neutral, and watch that starter belt. Watch the starter and the starter belt. As soon as you touch the accelerator pedal, you'll see that starter belt. And I would bet you that your squeal, you'll notice that starter spins inside that belt a little bit, and that's where the noise is coming from. I mean, I could be wrong on that, but that's a more common area for something that you describe as a squeal. Okay, let's go to number 2. Flashing battery meter. The battery meter is all the way to the left, the low side. The last red is flashing alternately with the adjacent green LED also. Also, the amber indicator on the dash is lit. I am waiting for a new charger that I bought from you. While I wait, I am charging each battery individually. Am I doing the right thing? Thanks. Yeah, your car has an OBC, so that you've got all kinds of issues going on there. Until you get a good complete charge in it, some of that stuff may continue. Depending on your battery setup, you could have 4 12-volt batteries, which that would be easy to charge individually. It's going to be difficult if you have 6 8-volt batteries in there to charge individually, unless you have an 8-volt charger. I found out that they actually do exist. 8-volt chargers are not near as common as 12-volt chargers, but you can get an 8-volt charger. If you don't have an 8-volt charger, it's difficult to charge an 8-volt battery with a 12-volt charger. It's kind of dangerous and a little bit difficult. Can be done, but you might not be able to get it to a full charge. So anyway, it would be nice if you're not going to bypass your onboard computer, like electronically bypass it. I know your charger you bought from us is probably going to hook directly to the batteries. But in order to clear up that light issue, it would be nice if you could fix your old charger and just let the onboard computer do its thing, and then I know that light would go out and everything would look normal. But just your onboard computer is a little bit confused because you're not charging it that way is what all that's why all that's happening. It shouldn't affect the way your car runs if your batteries are good. I know the flashing lights are gonna drive me crazy. Let's see. I have a sick 2014 EZGO cart with forward but no reverse after replacing the switch. Maybe the controller. Well, if your 2014 EZGO has a tow maintenance switch under the seat, a lever for tow and maintenance, then yes, it could be the controller, because the controller in that type of electrical system is responsible for switching the polarity to the motor electronically to get forward and reverse. Now, you mentioned you replaced the switch. That sounds like you replaced the mechanical type switch and now you have no reverse. Well, that would make me think you need to go back and look at that mechanical area. If you replace that and now you have no reverse, then it's most likely not the controller. It's because that's where you switch it. You know, you switch it mechanically if that's the kind you have. You got some micro switches on there that you might need to check out that could be not allowing you to go in reverse. Let me check over here on Catherine O'Brien Freeman says hello. Hello, Catherine O'Brien Freeman. Let's see. Looks like we got Christine Taylor. What are the best batteries to replace mine? Trojan. I will tell you this, Christine. I've been a Trojan battery dealer for a long time, many years, and it has been my experience that I've tried other ones. I've tried everything else. I've tried the cheaper brands. Trojan are just about the most expensive when it comes to lead acid batteries until you go to lithium. You know, if you're not ready to make that lithium jump, then I think, in my opinion, over the years, in my experience, Trojan are the best. I've had the least amount of trouble with Trojan batteries than any other brand. Have the least amount. You've got, you know, as far as price goes, you've got like two ends of the spectrum. I consider Trojan like when I'm talking about just lead acid batteries only. Trojan is at the top of the line, top of the scale, but they also are the most expensive. And then but if I got customers that want to just put a new set of batteries in their car because they're thinking of selling it and they want to be able to advertise it with new batteries, on the other end of the spectrum, the cheapest lead acid that I know of are like the ones they sell at Sam's. You know, Sam's has always sold golf cart batteries, but I have never heard good things about them. I've never bought them, never used them, and I've heard lots of bad things from customers about longevity and performance, and you know, not being near the Trojan. You know, so to answer your question, Trojan is a good choice. You can't go wrong if you're not ready to go lithium. Let's see, where was I at? Number 4. I have a 2010 EZGO. I was wondering, when putting the secondary clutch on, how far should it sit on the shaft? Well, if it's the correct secondary clutch, if I recall, it goes all the way on the shaft. I mean, it goes all the way on the shaft. I mean, there's no point where you could put it on wrong. So maybe I'm not understanding the question correctly, but it goes all the way, you know, all the way in. All right, we'll come back to that one in just a second. Okay, number 5 is where we're at now. Howdy. My Club Car Precedent is used every day for feeding horses, checking the hens, etc. Maybe 20 minutes twice a day. Lately, when starting off and pressing the accelerator pedal, it jerks or surges. Then when going, it runs smoothly. I may have caused the problem by pulling a small cart across a freshly disked, dry, and dusty field. Could it just be dust and build up, or do I have damaged something in the accelerator? Any suggestions? Let's see. Well, we talked about this many times in a club car. The the device that is responsible for the smoothness of your acceleration is the 𝗟𝗃𝗲. Now, the 𝗟𝗃𝗲 is a sealed unit. It's a sealed unit, but apparently they hadn't figured out how to keep moisture out of them because of they have a tendency to get moisture in them, and you get the switches go bad. The smoothness of your acceleration starts being jerky or non-smooth. Or you could try this. I've heard a lot of people say this when their 𝗟𝗃𝗲 is starting to act up a little bit and your car's starting to act up. Just hit the gas pedal or the accelerator pedal with your foot like 20 times. Just hit and see if that makes any difference. Like, you know, with key off, turn key off and don't make your car roll. But then just hit it back and forth like 20 times. What that does is it's kind of scraping the contacts and everything that's inside the 𝗟𝗃𝗲. See if that makes any difference. If that does make a difference, then you could be onto something with the dirt. You could have moisture and dirt inside your 𝗟𝗃𝗲 that's causing your issue. Number 6. What would make the motor pop? I checked the exhaust gasket and looked good. Motor is making a popping sound. You mean, I'm assuming you mean like a backfire. There's one way that a backfire happens is excessive fuel gets past the carburetor into the cylinder after you've let the accelerator pedal completely off. The gas pedal is completely up. It's supposed to shut any fuel off at the carburetor from going any further. Well, if the needle and seat inside the carburetor is not seating correctly, even though your foot is off, fuel could be going past the carburetor into the cylinder, but your foot's off, so it's not firing. And as soon as you put your foot back into it, it activates the firing mechanism in your electrical firing system, and boom, it pops that fuel that's inside that cylinder. So you could have basically a carburetor leak into the cylinder. You know, that's one reason for a backfire, if that's what we're talking about when you say pop. Can I replace my 89 EZGO voltage regulator with a solid state one? I have never personally done that on an 89 EZGO. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that big kind of a gold box that has the 3 prongs on it that is responsible for charging your battery. I have read about people doing that on some of the golf cart forums. It gets real technical because you got to change the existing wiring, in the wiring harness a little bit, and you got to know where to tie in the new voltage regulator. I have read about people doing that, so you may want to check that out. Let's see, I guess I can give them a plug. There's a couple of golf cart forums out there that have some real technical stuff that could help you for your little project there. 𝗏𝗂𝗃𝗃.com is one. Buggy's Gone Wild is another. That's the 2 main ones that I've used for years to help me get through some issues. But there's going to be a section there about modifications of 2-stroke EZGOs or 4-stroke EZGOs. Yours is an 89. I can't remember if that's going to be 2 or 4-stroke. That might be 2. But anyway, I bet you'll be able to find somebody that can help you there on that particular issue. Let's see. We're going to come back to number 8. Let's see. Kirk Bauer is in YouTube. What's up, Kirk Bauer? Hi, Tim. It's me again. And I said before, I have a Lester 2 charger. If I go lithium, will I be able to use that charger, or will I have to buy a new one? Well, I'll tell you this, Kirk. The Lester Summit 2 does have a lithium setting, but the lithium manufacturers that we sell, the batteries that we sell, and Christine, I'll get to your question here in just a second because this is going to be part of your answer here. We sell Allied Lithium, we sell Dakota Lithium. Both of those manufacturers that we sell, they recommend using their charger. They don't recommend using a Summit 2, even though a Summit 2 does have a lithium setting. They just want to be sure, the batteries are so expensive, they want to be sure that you're charging your car correctly. So they know that if you buy their charger, then everything's going to be fine. There won't be any question if there's a problem. There won't be any question if there's a warranty issue or something like that, because you did everything you were supposed to. So technically, the Summit 2 is supposed to be able to charge your pack because it has a lithium setting, but the battery manufacturers are going to go against that a little bit. So I would do whatever the battery manufacturers say. You know, if you go lithium, I'd get their charger if they say that that's what they recommend doing. Okay, and Christine says, so please explain how and what lithium batteries I should look for. Well, if you want to buy from Golf Cart Garage, and we certainly hope that you would, you can buy either Allied, that's one of the brands that we sell, and Dakota. The Dakota Lithium is another brand that we sell. There's more competition than that out there. You know, they've become a little bit more available now over the last few years than they ever were before. The prices have come down a little bit. They're a little more reasonable than they used to be. I mean, it used to cost you $5,000. Lithium has been available for golf carts for a long time, for a number of years, but it would have cost you literally $5,000 to do the conversion. Nowadays, you can get it done for somewhere between 2 and 3 at the most, so it's come down quite a bit. So it just depends on where you want to buy from. If you want to buy from Golf Cart Garage, you're going to have Allied and Dakota to choose from. And please do buy from Golf Cart Garage. Why not? Okay, where are we at now? Number 8 is where we're at. Just got 2 more questions here. I'm having an amperage issue and looking for a replacement part to fix my EVE card. I have brand new batteries and all worked well last season, but this year the batteries only last about 10 minutes on a full charge. Is there an amperage meter that needs to be replaced? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by an amperage meter. If you're talking about on your charger, if the meter goes out on your charger, that doesn't mean anything. The charger should still be working. So you need to check and make sure that your charger is still working correctly. Like plug the charger into your cart, let it charge almost to a full charge cycle, and then take your voltmeter like this, or anyone, you know, small like this, handheld voltmeter, and I need to get some battery readings to see what your charger is actually doing. Preferably at close to the end of the charge cycle would help me out more. Because if your car's 36 volts, it's going to charge up to about 48 before it shuts off. If your car is 48 volt car, it's going to charge up to around 60 before it shuts off. So if it's not doing that, then your charger is not working correctly. If it is doing that, you got a battery problem. If it's only lasting, you know, the short period of time like you said it is. Let's see. This is the last regularly scheduled question, but I will check the live here in a second. I purchased the 2-pack. Okay, Christine, listen to this. This is from Brad. He says, I purchased the 2-pack lithium batteries from Big Battery. Big Battery is another company that's out there that is a lithium battery. It's showing I should get around 25 to 30 miles. I'm probably getting about 10 to 15. My order number, unfortunately, doesn't appear in my history, so I do not have it. I did fit the cart with 6 inches, lift the cart 6 inches and put 23-inch tires. I was expecting to lose a little mileage with the lift and tires, but not that much. I've included pictures of the motor and controller. If you should need anything else, just let me know. Well, Brad, that's one of those things where you're going to need to talk with Big Battery about that. You know, see what they say. I would be worried that their response would be, well, you put taller tires, so your golf cart is under more of a strain. But that does seem like an excessive difference between 25 to 30 to 10 to 12, something like that. I don't think that it would cut it out that much, but I will vouch for the more strain on your electrical system when you go with 23-inch tires. So that did decrease your range for sure. I would never have guessed that it would have decreased it that much, but it did decrease your range. So that's something that you would probably need to talk with them about and see what they say, see if they think that there is actually a problem or not, or if there's something they can do to remedy it. Because I know what you can do. You can put a second one in parallel, and that would remedy the problem right there. But I don't know if they're going to recommend that or not. Let's see, that was the last regular question, so let's go over here, see if we see anything else. William Rizzo. What's up, William Rizzo? William Rizzo is talking to Christine. He says he installed 𝗾𝘂𝗃 lithium and no more adding water. He got a 40-mile range, 105 amp hour. That's another thing you need to decide, Christine. If you do decide to go lithium, you need to decide how many amp hours you want. The amp hour is directly related to how far the car will travel before it needs recharging. The higher the amp hour, the higher your range. You see, with 105 amp hour, that's why William is saying he's getting a 40-mile range, because there are other amp hours usually offered by lithium manufacturers. They can get a 56 amp hour, 70 amp hour, and 105 amp hour. Usually 105 is going to be all anybody needs in a golf cart. So that's where you would get your pricing from when you go to look at 105 amp hour if you're interested in having a 40-mile range like William is. That's cool, William. Thank you for joining in and sharing your story there. Let me check here. That looks like it's going to be about it for this week. I want to thank everybody for joining in the live chat. We appreciate you. I hope maybe I was able to shed some light on some stuff. Yep. Oh yeah, William pointed out that he also saved 300 pounds in weight. So just think how much better your golf cart will run just from that. In other words, just pretend that you got a friend that weighs 300 pounds and he's always riding with you in your golf cart. He weighs 300 pounds, all right, and you're riding around. Now your friend gets out. Don't you think your golf cart's going to run better? And there was no electrical change or nothing. So if it was only the 300 pounds of weight difference, there would be a performance increase in your golf cart. But it's more than that. Not only is it a 300-pound weight difference, the voltage drop that happens every time you touch the gas pedal on a golf cart or an electric vehicle in general, there's a certain amount of voltage drop. It drops, and that affects performance. Lithium resists that voltage drop way better than lead-acid batteries does. So you not only have 300 pounds less weight, you have drastically reduced voltage drop. So your car is going to feel like it has more power. Well, it actually does have more power because it has less voltage drop. Let's see. Yep. It looks like it's going to be it for episode. This was episode 58. I will be back. We come Tuesday. We go live now. I don't know if I said this yet on this episode. We go live Tuesdays and Thursdays now. Just remember, Tim, Tuesdays and Thursdays, noon Central Time. As we go live twice a week now. We do a little short session rather than doing one long session. Okay, and so that's working out pretty good. And don't forget to go to Golf Cart Garage if you're interested in speaking with me. Gearheads on Demand is a service we offer where you can schedule an appointment with me and I'll talk to you one-on-one about your golf cart related issue. Just click the link in the description if that interests you. That'll take you to the scheduling page. All right, other than that, we're out of here until next Tuesday. So the Golf Cart Garage is now closed.